I need to interject this real quick, boys and girls, because I am making a boating video and I am followed by a lot of bow fishermen. The very first thing that you need to do as a bow fisherman is know what you're going to do with your fish before you ever leave the house. I don't care if you're fishing residential waters or you're going out of state, you need to have a plan. The very last thing that I want you to do as a bow fisherman is go and have a good night, and then you're tired, you're wore out, and make a bad decision because you didn't plan ahead. When you make bad decisions, it reflects poorly on all of us, and that's the last thing I want to happen. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Dustin. If it's your first time joining me on the channel, well, don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, because around here we keep it 100. Today we're talking about how and why I do the things I do when I prepare my boat for transport and head to the lake. Today we're going to take a short little trip and try out a new propeller. It's sweatshirt weather, which I love. So before deer season gets here, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that everything is going good. I've actually got a tournament this weekend, so I want to make sure everything's top notch. Well, I got a little bit of spare time. Let's go ahead and knock a video out too. So the very first thing that I really should cover is hooking up your trailer. It's very, very easy to get sidetracked. There's lots of things going through your mind. I've got to get this ready for the boat. Do I have my bows? Do I have all this? When you decide to hook up your trailer, make sure that you do it all in one go, okay? That's everything from backing up to hooking up, all right? Making sure that we're, actually in the ball socket and not pushed up on here, okay? Putting our safety device on there. I just use a piece of welding wire because, hey, that's how I am. Making sure that our electrical connection's hooked up, make sure our safety chains are hooked up and preferably crossed, as well as making sure that our jack is up and in transport position and properly secured. Then, if need be, I don't need to on this one, I'm going to make sure that the wheels are unshocked and I'm ready to go. I turn my parking lights on, and then I reach up and I put my hazards on. That's going to turn on two different circuits. One, your running lights, and two, it will flash your brake lights. So as I'm walking down the trailer here, okay, yes sir, got a marker light there, marker light, brake light, marker light, brake light, as well as marker light right there. So if you don't want to do a complete walk around and your trailer lights are up to par, just go ahead and turn that parking light on just to get that side marker to come on. You can see it right there, we're on, so I'm good to go. I can turn them off. That lets you know that the plug is making a good connection and that it has a good ground, okay? Simple as that. If your trailer has issues or not, if your tail lights are proper or not. But the weakest point in most scenarios is the plug. So by doing that, that's almost as good as a walk around. So right now I'm actually slowed down to about 25-30 mile an hour going through a town, actually my hometown. And I wanted to give you guys a little tip. All I do, I just roll the window down. Literally. Don't matter what's going on, if there's other people inside the vehicle or whatever, crack the window. Turn the radio down for just a little bit. Every now and then, listen to what's going on back behind you. From anything, brakes on the truck to maybe a bearing, okay? Maybe it's just your springs on the trailer that are bouncing up and down. Maybe you can hear them working a little too hard. Okay, I'm leaving town, so I'm gonna roll my window back up. And I'm gonna turn the radio back on. But every now and then, just crack that window a little bit and listen to what's going on back here behind you. Okay, time to stop and get some gas and get ready for our trip. So now is the perfect time to do all the things you need to do for the trip, all right? cooler, ice, drinks, all that stuff needs to be taken care of right now. But from a boating standpoint, you want to, once again, take this time to think about what your trailer's doing. Come on, I'll show you. All right, so I lost that footage. Don't know where it went. Imagine I am at the gas station and I'm going back here to fill up. A few things to think about. 3 things, actually. Every time you stop, these 3 things are going to come into play. You're going to visually look around everything, see if anything's different. 2, you're going to listen, okay? If something is hot, it's going to be cracking, making noise. Just like when you drove through town and you cracked that window, you were listening for something out of the ordinary. And 3 is smell. I know it sounds stupid, but if anything gets hot, it's going to smell hot, all right? So let's say I have a funny smell and something's hot. Well, first off, I'm going to think about, how did I drive for the last 20 minutes? Did I come down that off ramp just a little bit too hard and have to get on the brakes really hard, just like right over there? Well, okay, that's probably why I smell brakes. But, maybe not. Maybe I was driving recently fairly decent. I shouldn't be smelling something that's hot. So I'm going to inspect this wheel. Okay, first off, I'm going to start by touching the tire. Now, on a warm day, 90, 100 degree day, that tire is going to be warm, but it's not going to be hot to the touch. Next up, if it is hot, I'm going to start by just barely touching the wheel, okay? Don't grab the wheel. Do not grab the hub. If there is a problem inside that hub, that entire wheel and tire are going to be hot, 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 all right? So don't touch them. Just lightly get a feel for it. The reason we're doing this is to be able to diagnose if you have a problem before you have a catastrophic failure. Paying attention to your rig will determine if you can catch a problem before it is a catastrophic failure. All right, so look, listen, and smell every time you get out of the vehicle. All right, now let's go pump some gas. So I probably won't use a whole lot of gas here, but now is the time to, after I got my fuel set started, okay, if you're a 2-stroker, go ahead and get your oil out, get it over here and get it setting here in your face. That way if something comes up, you get distracted by somebody or something, your oil is sitting right there and it's a visual check. That way you can get that in there before you ever leave. Okay, so since I'm a 4-stroker, I don't have to worry about that. Making a short trip today, so I don't have to worry about coolers and all that stuff. So let's go on. Let's go to the lake. One thing you really need to pay attention to is how a ramp's laid out. So you can see right here is our turnaround, and right down there is the ramp. So the last thing I want to do is pull around there and block that ramp before I get ready. So I'm going to pull right over here, right over out of the way, and prepare my boat and all my gear to make sure that A, I don't block the ramp, and B, I don't feel rushed myself. So when I get out, first things first, I make sure that I got my life jacket. It goes in the boat. Now, if you are boating with multiple people, i.e. generally, have my wife with me, she has her order of operation that she does. She takes care of the bows. She takes care of the life jackets. She makes sure that if there's any gear in the truck, it gets put in the boat. And then I do my thing. So my first order of operation when I come back here, I like to prioritize things. So first thing I want to do is make sure that the plugs are in. The boat's not coming off the trailer unless the plugs are in. While I'm over here, I'm going to go ahead and turn my main battery switch on. And then, since I'm boating alone today, I'm going to get my rope out. Well, more on that here in just a second. I'm going to take my straps off. Okay, and then I'm going to take off my transom saver. Make sure that you don't trim down too low. Since I'm just taking a short boat ride, I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in there. You know, this would be the time where I'd have all my gear in place as well. I'm not taking any gear with me today. I'm just taking a boat ride. But I'll make sure that all that is, you know, set up, and then now's the time to go ahead and put my boat in the water. So in the future, we're going to make a how to back your boat trailer video, but right now I think we'll just go ahead, put the boat in, and I'll show you how I offload by myself. So now that I got the boat sitting in the water and we've got our rope tied to our winch here, I can go ahead and undo everything. All right. Now, this hole's pretty lightweight and pretty easy to remove off the trailer, but if it wasn't, let's just go ahead and act like it wasn't. I'll go ahead and back the boat trailer in the water. Okay, just pay attention. Everything's floating now. I'm gonna hit the brakes. Go ahead and go into drive. And I'll pull up nice and slow, keeping an eye on my rope back there. Okay, I still got rope coming off the front. That means it's floating. Okay, right there. At that point, that tightened up my rope. I'm gonna go ahead and pull forward just the least little bit. Nice and slow, and pull my trailer out of the water and go ahead and shut the engine off. You can see doing it this way, real easy. All I gotta do is grab my rope, pull the hole up here to me. It's nice and safe. I didn't think about falling off the trailer, nothing like that. Okay, I'll go ahead and beach this and undo my rope from the trailer, undo it from the boat, and then we'll tie it up over at the launching dock. So even though there's nobody here today, I want to go ahead and show you guys how to do it the right way. All right, so we'll just go over here and utilize this loading dock, whatever you want to call it. Go ahead and get our boat out of the way, all right, out of the way of everybody else, and then we'll go park the truck. Okay, there you go. Boat's not going anywhere. I tied on this side because the wind is actually coming from this direction. That'll keep it pushed up against the dock here, and then just tie it off with a short leash. I'm only going to the ramp just for a second to go ahead and park the truck. I'm gonna go run this boat around, see how my new prop does, and yeah, I'll see y'all on the next one. Go ahead and get my rope off here. Make sure that it is nowhere in the water before I leave. There we go. That's good to go. Now we can go ahead and push off the dock, and we're ready to go. As always, boys, don't forget to shoot straight, shoot often. Don't forget to wear your personal flotation devices from dock to dock. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Y'all stay safe.